Imagine summoning for a new character in Dragon Ball Legends and it's the unit that you desperately want more than anything. It could be your personal favorite character from the anime, or maybe it's the most powerful meta-defining unit yet. You feel accomplished, you feel like you achieved something, you feel powerful. You feel like Lady Luck is on your side because you pulled a character in your first multi, meanwhile your friend couldn't get him in 50,000 CC. Only for that unit to get hard counted instantly, making you feel like a fool for spending anything on them, for investing your hard-earned time and chrono crystals into that character. Now the lifespan of Legends units is all over the place. It can be a few weeks or a few months. But for the characters that we're going to talk about today, these are almost instantaneous, whether they were counted on release or mere moments afterwards. These are the premium units who are hard counted. If you can think of any others, make sure you let me know down in the comments. I would love to read and see everyone else's perspective. Now let's get started. Purple Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This was a character that I was very much looking forward to, and when he came out during the 6th anniversary I was really excited, and when I pulled him I felt like I was on top of the world. He was really strong, especially with his unique gauge and his ridiculous ultimate power. He had some decent counters when he dropped, like Super Baby 2 with his lock-in ultimate, and fusing Gogeta Blue, who ignored his counter unique gauge, but nothing too crazy. But then Legends decided to just drop a bunch of ridiculous yellow units, like they were almost saying, okay, we made our money now let's get this guy out of here. Rage Shenron was extremely annoying to fight against, and he had tons of paralysis and blue card damage. Then they dropped LF Tree of Might Goku, whose kit was specifically designed to counter Gogeta's gauge and his ultimate damage, so that one was clearly targeted. But even after this, Gogeta was still somewhat okay. But then we got Ultra Margin Vegeta, and this was when it was pretty much GG's for Gogeta. Margin Vegeta just blew him away so badly because of all the ridiculous things that they gave to this unit. Like, I still think that in terms of singular releases, this is one of the biggest mistakes in the history of the game. Then Legends Festival came around and we got another premium yellow unit in Goku Black. Goku Black wasn't that bad, but you know, he's still another premium yellow unit, so it's just adding to the notch of Gogeta enemies. And you know, even if you thought about trying Gogeta out again at this time, then they dropped Ultra Beast Gohan. All of these guys are yellow, and you know, they dropped and then they forced Gogeta out of PvP when he barely even got going, in my opinion. It's just actually insane how many yellow units they dropped that directly harmed him. Blue transforming LF Ultra Instinct Goku. This guy dropped as one of the headliners, one of the co-headliners of the 7th anniversary in part 1, and while there were a lot of really strong greens to stand against him, like Diamond Mini Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku, transforming Vegito Blue, and Super Saiyan God Goku with his unique equipment, he had a lot of tools built into his kit where he could still overpower and finesse green characters. He had type neutral capabilities, and you know, he had the auto dodging and the counters, and then you know, his counter green card. He has endurance with a ton of healing and tanking capabilities. But then, you know, part 2 of the anniversary creeps around, and then we get Revival Saiyan Saga Vegeta, who was also green and really powerful, especially on the Saiyan Saga team with all of their support and equipment. I also do want to mention that Kale and Cauliflower are half green, and they also put a very they were also very powerful against UI Goku, as well as the Green Revival UI Goku who got his Zenkai Awakening. He was also quite strong in some situations, when he pops his main ability and when he lands his blue card. So MUI was still somehow at the top of the game, even with all of these green characters running around. But, he had a lot of answers, but also it wasn't too crazy. But then Part 3 came around and, oh boy, we were introduced to Ultra Full Power Frieza. Ultra Full Power Frieza absolutely obliterates MUI Goku, and it's not even funny. Like, he shreds him, with his dead beam and basically everything else. And, there's people who on top of that will run this Frieza with Vegeta, so that's even like, it's worse, it's double trouble. And unfortunately, UI doesn't have very strong purples to protect him against all of these greens, especially against Frieza. So, in this time, no strong purples exist. Blue Evolution Vegeta will not cut it against even the best greens in the game, unfortunately. That's just how it is. So, UI stood strong against all these various greens, but, Frieza just became too much and, he stacked the deck a bit too much in the favor of green characters. Green LF Super Saiyan God Goku. Poor SSG Goku, man. Before this guy was saving Dragon Ball Legends with his unique equipment, he was pretty much dead on release in the 6th anniversary. He dropped alongside Purple LF Ultimate Gohan, who was just infinitely better than him and had better equipment options and teams. And he color counted him on top of that. But then they later decided to dig deeper with the release of Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and he was purple as well. So this is basically two of the strongest purple characters in the history of the game that dropped alongside God Goku, and he just couldn't handle it. He wasn't enough. He did get a unique equipment later on, but on release he was just pretty much not it. He didn't have a big quantity of counters, so you say, but this 1-2 in the form of Gogeta and Gohan was enough to just knock him out of the meta until he got his unique equipment eventually. Yellow Ultra Super Vegito. This is actually the least toxic Ultra in the history of the game. He wasn't overly toxic, he was just really good. They dropped this guy to close the 4th anniversary, and the top reds at the time when he dropped were the Tag Androids and LF Red UI Goku. But Vegito didn't suffer from this because he had a really good kit, and he performed well in battle, and also because Ultra Super Gogeta was still viable at the time. And then everything changed when Red LF Final Form Cooler dropped, and this was basically one of the biggest targeted counters in the history of the game, because once this cooler dropped and he landed a strike card on any Super Saiyan character, it was pretty much GG's. He locked you in and then you pretty much just lose your character. And Cooler did extra damage against Super Saiyan characters and was type neutral, meaning Super Gogeta, who was blue, couldn't save Vegito. And years later, to this day, the Super Saiyan team has still yet to recover because of how Cooler obliterated Vegito and this entire team. Red Ultra Vegito Blue. The most overrated and glazed unit in the history of the game is Ultra Vegito Blue. This guy dropped during the 5th anniversary, and some people will still say he's top 10 to this day, which is insane. I know you might think I'm crazy for saying that, but there's people out there who will say that, and they won't be joking. It'll be like a genuine statement from them. I hate this guy personally, and I think he's overrated. When he dropped, I'd say his biggest counters were Goku and Frieza, especially the Frieza side, as well as LF DBS 17. The blue Sparking Zamasu also performed pretty well against him also. Then we got the second LF Namek Goku, I believe like a month after the anniversary. And he had a lock-in ultimate, so you could pretty much snipe Vegito easily. And then the biggest counter for Vegito dropped, which was Ultra Super Janemba, who was really toxic and really strong. And, Vegito just couldn't handle the heat, Janemba with his gauge was pretty much hitting you with the free ultimate. And, he countered strike hard, so like it was difficult to land a hit on him. So he kind of forced Vegito out of the meta. Janemba did get countered, but then, they still dropped like other blues like LF Goku and Bardock and, the Universal GT Spirit Bomb Goku. So UVB had a lot of blue characters to contend with. I know people like him and they glaze him to the max, but objectively, he wasn't as terrifying as he is built up to be. Please make sure that you do give us a thumbs up to support this video, by the way, and if you guys got any other characters that were hard countered, let me know. Maybe I'll drop a part 2 of this. Also, another glazed character in DB Legends is Sparking Kakarot Goku, and to find out what's going on with him, click the video on screen now.